Facundo Buonanotte has been simply sensational in his first 6 games at Leicester City and could well be the reason why Steve Cooper's side survived. After joining Brighton in late 2023, there's already a lot of hype around the youngster. Starting his footballing journey at the esteemed youth academy of Rosario Central, he's regarded as one of the most talented graduates since a certain Angel Di Maria. Now earning himself a call-up to the senior men's national squad for Argentina at just 19 years old, the same age as me. And in my opinion, he's been Leicester's best player so far this season. In just 4 Premier League starts, he's picked up 2 goals, 2 assists, 3 big chances created, 6 key passes, and 29 total duels won. And for a newly promoted side to pick up 4 goal contributions in 4 starts is pretty impressive. In a team which plays a very defensive style of football as a newly promoted side, of course, Buonanotte is one of the only players who likes to take some sort of risk in the final third. So far, that has reaped its rewards with 4 goal contributions so far for Leicester, and arguably the main man in Leicester's only win this season against Bournemouth. Despite a passing accuracy of just 75%, I actually don't mind it because at times this season, Leicester City need players to take a risk, try and play that ball in behind. It's still good being safe, but people like Buonanotte, in my opinion, are going to be absolutely vital this season for creating chances, scoring goals and winning games. He's also not afraid to have a shot. In just 373 minutes, he's had 8 shots, 4 of them being on target with a conversion rate of 25%, with an XG as well of 0.69. And those shots and the shots on target are actually higher than Jamie Vardy. And part of that is simply down to his game intelligence. It's rare you see a player at just 19 seem so comfortable in terms of receiving the ball, finding the space, making things happen, but Buonanotte really seems to have it all. Also being fouled 10 times this season, which can always help trying to slow the game down, win free kicks, and so far this season Leicester have actually been half decent from set piece situations as well, so it could also lead to them goal scoring chances. His footballing IQ as such relates perfectly to his chances created as well. In them 373 minutes, he's picked up 2 assists and created 6 chances as well, but importantly once again he's outperforming his XG, which has been a big pattern for Leicester so far this campaign. But then again, that is also a sign of a very good player. Comparing him to other players in the Premier League in terms of his percentiles, he's performing extremely well. The one big question which be on Steve Cooper's mind is, where does Buonanotte actually play and where does he fit into this attacking system? So far this season, he's mainly played in that number 10 spot in behind the striker, but he can also operate from that right-hand side, which he did against Bournemouth. And in my opinion, that was his and Leicester's best performance of the season so far. Especially with the 19-year-old being left-footed, he can be very effective coming in from that right-hand side on his left foot, and then can obviously move into that more central number 10 position just from the right-hand side initially. Taking a look at his heat map from the game against Bournemouth, as you can see, it's mainly on that right-hand side, but he likes to come inside, drop deep at times as well, and that first phase of build-up. And Buonanotte, as we know against Bournemouth, was absolutely sensational, especially in that first half, which Leicester dominated really. Comparing that to his heat map at Brighton last season, it's very similar. On that right-hand side, De Zerbi put him there. He's a very good tactical coach, so is Buonanotte on the right-hand side the best player in that position? Potentially, but who plays in that number 10 spot for Leicester? It's a big headache for Steve Cooper, but it's a headache which you do want. As you can see here from the Bournemouth game, Leicester have beaten the first line of press, but Buonanotte has dropped deep on the ball once again, but this does allow James Justin to really advance down that right-hand side, and as we know, he had a nice 1-2 with JJ, and it led to a quite fantastic goal. On paper, it's a very simple goal. It's a simple 1-2 from the right-hand side with Justin. Buonanotte breaks inside, and obviously from then it wasn't so straightforward. It was magic to beat his man and pass Kepa into the roof of the net. But in terms of the fundamentals, you just have a fullback going forward in James Justin, who's obviously good going forward, which Leicester need to utilise a bit more, and so we need to with Victor Christensen as well. And he can create teams so many problems. Bournemouth are a good Premier League team, but in that first half we caused them so many problems because they probably didn't expect Leicester to attack so much and get plays forward like James Justin did. In terms of the goals, the finish, the skill beforehand was all Facundo Buonanotte, and at times this season Leicester are going to have to rely on these individual moments to get us across the line and get 3 points on the board, and someone like Facundo Buonanotte is the exact player to provide that type of thing on a more regular basis. The skill itself to beat the defender in that situation as well just highlights Facundo's quality as well. He isn't the fastest of players, he isn't the most physical at all, but in terms of his agility on the ball and the ability to brush defenders aside with his quick feet and footwork, it's very difficult to defend that type of thing. And Buonanotte can receive the ball in the half space, it's very difficult to stop him. As I've said, he's picked up 2 assists so far this season, but it probably should have been 3. Of course, in that Bournemouth game, Vardy had that huge chance to make it 2-0. He had to score, but once again, it's Buonanotte finding the space in that half space once again, playing Vardy in behind, and yeah, just like I said, Vardy had to score that. It would have been the perfect assist. It brings back memories of James Maddison playing them balls in behind to Vardy. I think this image really helps to highlight Leicester's attacking kind of force so far this season. In my opinion, it needs to be a lot more. As we've seen from the first goal through James Justin, you got Jordan Ayew kind of on that left-hand side this time. You got Mavididi and Buonanotte more centrally, and then Vardy kind of right central running in behind the striker. If we can just add a few more players to that attack, it's going to be difficult to stop because we do have some quality players in the final third. Obviously, those examples are Leicester attacking on the transition, but at his time at Brighton, when they had more of the ball, he's also very good as well when teams are sat back in a low block. As you can see here, Southampton are sitting very deep against Brighton. They're 2-0 up in this situation as well, but Buonanotte comes inside, he's very direct, and once again, around the final third, around the edge of the box, he's just so effective. Even against Pep Guardiola's Man City, as you can see here, this time he kind of drifts inside into that more central role, plays a good ball in behind. I don't know what happened with this situation itself, but you can just see the areas which Facundo can get himself into. It's very difficult to stop if you're playing Man City or if you're playing Cheltenham. Having that sort of free-flowing attack is very important in the modern day of football as well, especially Leicester on the transition. We need players who are comfortable and versatile in different areas of that attacking four, I guess. In this game against Newcastle as well, it shows you how comfortable he is in kind of the build-up play. He's got 2 men on him pressing, but he seems to be comfortable on the ball, and especially in a team like Brighton under someone like De Zerbi, kind of tactical play and his tactical nous in terms of the build-up and going forward is going to be benefited massively. Yeah, boys and girls, that's about everything for today's video on Facundo Buonanotte. I know I praised him a lot in today's video. Of course, there's some stuff for him to still work on in terms of his consistency and whatnot, but he's made a fantastic start to the season for Leicester. In my opinion, I think you guys can agree in the comments as well, arguably our best player so far this season. So fingers crossed he can continue it, and it's going to hurt when he ends up back at Brighton next season. So let's cherish him while we can, because I honestly think this guy's going to go on to do big things in the world of football. He reminds me of a young Paulo Dybala, I guess. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see on Facundo Buonanotte. But in my opinion, he has to be starting every single week. Yeah, if you have taken anything away from today's video and have enjoyed it, make sure to drop a like. Let me know your thoughts on Leicester this season as a whole and Facundo Buonanotte in the comment section down below. Make sure to also subscribe as well. Massively helps the channel out. And yeah, boys, I'll see you in the next video soon. Lots of vlogs on the way. Premier League football's back on the weekend for Southampton away. So hopefully Facundo is full firing on all cylinders on that one. I'll see you then. Up the Leicester.